Well, thank you for staying with Afternoon News. The Public Protector has come under scrutiny in Parliament while presenting her office's annual performance plan and budget to the Justice Portfolio Committee. MPs have also pressed Busisiwe Mkhwebane on several other issues. eNCA's Lester Kiewit attended the presentation and joins us now. Lester, good evening to you. I understand MPs posed a series of questions about whether the Public Protector had lied to Parliament over the ABSA bailout report.
That's right, Joanne. There was some clarification from Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane regarding that report and whether or not she had a secretive meeting with former President Jacob Zuma. But the Public Protector clarifying, saying that it is in her affidavit that she in fact had met members of presidency officials during that meeting with presidency staff to discuss certain issues around that ABSA a report. She's come under quite a lot of scrutiny, particularly after she has been ordered to pay a cost order in her own capacity. There had been plenty of questions asked by MPs regarding what many have described as some dodgy findings by the Public Protector. There seems to be quite a cloud of distrust between the Office of the Public Protector as well as Parliament's Justice Portfolio Committee. Very earlier on in today's briefing, there was a call by the committee chairperson, Matola Motshekga, for the Public Protector to deal with matters that were in the public interest and were in the public domain, and asking her to veer off from speaking about the operational issues of the Public Protector's office, but to deal more with the meatier issues of what is in the public domain. This includes that ABSA SIAX report. It includes investigations into state capture, and it also includes an investigation in the eNCA dairy project in the Free State.
Well, what investigating will she do about this particular scandal, Lester?
Well, she was criticised by committee members that her initial report into the eNCA dairy project released in February had no reference to any political involvement. At the time, Busisiwe Mkhwebane said that her complaint had that the initial complaint had not asked her to look at any initial involvement of any political players in the Free State involving the eNCA dairy project. But Busisiwe Mkhwebane telling Parliament this afternoon that she will now reopen a file on the eNCA dairy project, looking at the role, if any, that was played by the now former Free State Premier Ace Magashule, who is now the ANC Secretary General. This obviously comes as she's under political pressure to look deeper into that matter, especially since the Hawks and police have already indicted several people and have already appeared in court on this matter regarding alleged corruption at that Vrede dairy farm.
Lester, MPs also seem to show concern over allegations the State Security Agency has some measure of influence in the Public Protector's office.
That's right. If you can remember, during her interview for the position of Public Protector, there were questions raised of Busisiwe Mkhwebane's connections with the State Security Agency. At the time, she had not denied and said that she had worked for a 3-month stint with the State Security Agency. This time in Parliament, Busisiwe Mkhwebane saying that because of budget cuts, they've had to use the help of several other governmental departments and directorates to help with that work. In Parliament today, Busisiwe Mkhwebane is saying that they've had to use some systems analysts from the State Security Agency to help with their work. This overall comes to the point in which the Public Protector has been trying to make that they are severely underfunded. They're saying that they are suffering with a 29 million rand budgetary shortfall in this financial year, and this Busisiwe Mkhwebane says could hamper their work. They say that they've had to freeze critical posts, that they don't have the necessary specialists to investigate certain issues, and because of the budgetary cuts, they're unable to travel to certain far-flung areas of the country to actually do in-loco inspections of certain complaints, especially when it comes from complaints of service delivery and corruption. So at the end of the day, the public protector essentially saying that she's needed to use the use of the state security agency because there wasn't any money to hire anyone else. This obviously has raised some concerns by MPs as well as some advocacy groups like Right to Know, who has raised concerns about using essentially spies and the spy agency in critical work of government oversight and investigations like the Office of the Public Protector.
Mr. Kiewit, thank you for wrapping that so comprehensively for us. He is live to us from our Cape Town studios.